Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Sedona International Film Festival. I'm your host, Carol Kahn. We are coming to you live from Sedona Rouge Hotel and Spa. Sedona Rouge is one of our sponsors, along with Broadcast Rentals and Sedona Advertising Agency. Thank you so much for being a sponsor for this year's festival. And I'm going to introduce you to another filmmaker for her film in colors. And please introduce yourself.
My name is Stephanie Willis, and I am the writer and director of the film.
Awesome. And we were just sitting here talking. You didn't get in until what
2
time?
2 a.m. So it's been a long night/morning.
And this is your first time in Sedona?
It is, yeah. It's beautiful so far. Like, wow.
Well, you didn't get to see it last night.
I did, and it was all dark then. So.
It's kind of a surprise when you wake up in the morning and see how beautiful it is.
It's also picturesque, you know? So it's beautiful.
Now, is this the first time that you've been in the Sedona Film Festival?
It is. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to it.
Awesome. So give us a little synopsis about your film.
Yeah, so In Colors follows Clarice, who is a Latina immigrant who's adjusting to life with her new husband. And her values are really called into question when an undocumented immigrant, Julieta, tries to seek shelter on her property. So she really has to figure out what it is that she stands for, if she's going to help this woman and possibly put herself at risk, or if she's just going to kind of turn her back on her and say, like, hey, this isn't my problem. I did it the right way, as people like to say, and you're on your own. So.
And where did the inspiration for this film come from?
I mean, a lot of it's been coming from just all the immigration policies and stuff that are going on that, you know, our country's kind of dealing with. And for me, like, I'm not someone who's of that community, you know, but I felt like I had a platform and I was able to try and shine some attention on it and, you know, just to try and unite people with the idea of, regardless of the things that Marcus is different, we're all human when it comes down to it, and to just kind of embrace that compassion and look past the things that we see as like, oh, well, you're doing this wrong or you're doing that wrong. And so I'm hoping that that message comes across in the film and that maybe, you know, it could shake something up and help in some way in terms of just how crazy things are with our policies right now.
You know, and I applaud you for doing that. I was talking to Patrick Schweitz this morning about, it seems, you know, like a theme for this year's festival, because we do have a lot of films, including yours,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that has to deal with the subject of immigration. And, you know, also, you know, as a participant in the film festival, but just viewing the films, I was very surprised myself. I mean, like, we hear about it all the time, but we really don't understand the depth
Right.
of feelings that, you know, these immigrants are actually feeling coming here to our country.
Sure. And, you know, it seems like it's easy to say there's a right and a wrong way to do things, but it's so much more complex than that. It's not a black and white issue, you know. And hopefully this film helps to illustrate that in some way.
Right, and that's a good point, because I think in the film, you said it's not a black and white issue.
No.
She specifically said that.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at the clip.
Excellent.
Where is she? Mexican woman with the book bag.
Please, it's just me and my husband. I don't know any woman.
I'm gonna need to see your papers.
You're a conditional resident. You know it's a crime to harbor an illegal? And for you, you get deported.
Por favor, ayúdenme. Se tiene que ir. Por favor, por favor. Si la encuentran aquí, van a pensar que nos conocemos. No la pueden encontrar aquí. A ver, escóndase atrás de la paja.
So what's going through your mind when you take a look at your own trailer?
Well, it's good to see that it all came together and, like, all the hard work paid off. And then, of course, you know, you think about, oh, gosh, I should have done that, or I should have done that. But it's a good feeling. It's a good feeling.
Yeah, I think we always go through that, how we could have made it better or...
100%.
Right.
But it's great. We did a good job.
Good. And you feel like your message was definitely brought out.
Yeah, and I'm really excited to be a part of the festival and so many different festivals, because the more that I'm out there trying to get the film shown, hopefully the more connecting that we're going to do with people and just get the message out there. So.
And the kind of projects that you choose, it seems like that the different genres, is this more in realm of the type of work that you like to do?
It's funny because I feel like I've got two different areas that I kind of focus in, and they're not related at all. Most of them are dark comedies or they're social awareness pieces. And it's like those two things don't really have a lot of overlap. But I guess it's nice to just kind of mix it up. You can be super serious and try and, make change in some way. And then on the flip side, you can just have a light-hearted, fun time that hopefully just, makes people happy at the same time. So, yeah, it's kind of a mixed bag with me. It's one or the other.
Is it hard to switch? Like in writing specifically?
In the writing aspect, directing not so much. It's definitely a lot more fun to direct the comedy ones because you can just kind of crack up and stuff. But even on this, we were cracking jokes and just having a good time. And it's kind of unusual because you're dealing with, matters and topics that aren't like really laughing matters. But it's good that we're still able to just be like, hey, we're just making a movie and we're doing the best we can. So let's, have some fun while we're doing it.
And I know that you're showing this at other film festivals. So what is like the overall, consensus about your film?
We've gotten a lot of positive reviews, which is great, and we've won some awards, which is always nice to get some accolades and, have someone say, hey, you did a really good job. It's like, oh, thank you. But it's kind of interesting that we've gone to festivals that I wouldn't think that necessarily we would, be playing well at, because you would think that maybe a certain region isn't going to be as open to receiving the message, and I've been pleased to find out that that's not always the case, so some of my internal bias, I guess, has been proven wrong, and that's great because I want to just try and reach as many people with the message as possible. So.
And you've just mentioned too that you do films that sort of create social awareness, and so you've created this film about immigration. And after it's over, do you pretty much are you sort of done with the topic, or do you want to get more involved in the issues?
I would like to get more involved for sure, because right now it just feels like we've just scratched the surface of what's going on with this issue. How I'm going to do that, I'm not 100% sure right now, but I definitely would like to get more involved.
Yeah, I was going to ask you if there's other films. Does it seem like that filmmaking for you is a platform to get the word out to more people?
For sure, because when you're watching a film, it's so easy to be taken on a journey, and I feel like when you start connecting to characters, you start realizing like, hey, maybe I'm looking at something in a way that isn't maybe the best for me or for the people involved who are dealing with issues that like the film is tackling. So I feel like movies are really the gateway to just kind of knocking down biases here and there. So it's great.
Awesome. And how can people find out about your film?
So our main media area is on Instagram, and our handle is incolors_2019.
Okay, and then your film's going to be shown when?
So we showed yesterday, and then we'll also be showing today at 4:20.
At 4:20. All right, awesome.
Excellent.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having us.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. And don't forget to see In Colors is it at the Harkins Theater?
It is.
Harkins Theater today. If you're following us on social media, don't forget hashtag Sedona Film Fest 2020 and hashtag Sedona Film Fest 26. We'll be back with more filmmaker interviews after this.